So let's talk about it. In your first position, you have, this is you. I mean, this is you in September. This is you going on. This is like in your now. So you have the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords is someone who is like working so hard and already has the answers, but there are some things that they have to do. So when you get this card, they're saying you need to work smarter, not harder. Okay. So there are some things, because Geminis can do this, there are some things that you really have to pay attention to and just finish those out so that you can get that done with instead of doing all this other busy work, right? Instead of all this other stuff, there are some things that you do have to attend to that need to get resolved. And yeah, we were in Mercury retrograde, but now we're forward, and that's why Mars is in there. Mars is in there to help you, and Mercury is going direct so that these get resolutions. It's like when this card shows up, it's like I already have the answer. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I already have the answer, and there's some things that I haven't been looking at, but I really need to look at, right? And so that's what they're asking you with this card. They're saying you already have your answers, but there's a way to work more efficiently. There's a way to work smarter, not harder, because you're used to like, well, I'll just work harder. And they're saying, no, there's a different way. There's an easier way. You don't have to work harder. You just work smarter. There are some things that aren't going to go away unless you address them. Okay. And that's what's keeping you from your abundance, some of you. So, and it's tiring you out, right? So, and you've got these things coming. And so if you're not clear, you're going to get like yourself into a mess. So what's crossing you is the Six of Coins. Now this is Spirit's advice, and I see this two ways. The Six of Coins is about someone coming to help you and giving you, you know, whatever it is that you're needing for that situation. So if it's finances, or if it's like I don't know, somebody, like you can't find a place to, like maybe your lease is coming up in your apartment and you got to go somewhere else, but you're like, I can't find any place. Like maybe like all of a sudden somebody enters your life and they're like, oh, I have this place and I need somebody to rent it and blah, blah, blah. Like that. Like it's someone that comes and helps you and gives you a hand up. Not like a free thing, but just like a hand up, like gives you some resolution to what's going on. That's what I'm feeling with this card. But they always say, like, when you get this, be sure to be clear about why that person is doing the thing that they're doing. That's what I see in that instant. Because again, it goes to this, I know I have the answer already, but just look at the answer clearly. Okay. Now, for the other thing, they're saying in this position, this advice is, if you are going to help someone or give someone a hand up, right, or a helping hand, or, you know, if your energy is going to be doing that, then be sure to have your intentions for why you're doing this, right? So, because if your intentions aren't to fulfill yourself and the other person, if it's like, well, I'm just doing this because there are people like this, but I'm just doing this because, you know, this is going to help me out, right? If that's the case, even if it's going to help you out, your intention may want to be, you know what, I really like this person and I think I can help them, and let's do this, right? And then they in turn say, well, you know what, I can help you do this, right? So just make sure your intentions are in line with your higher self. I'm not saying it has to be good or bad, because there's no good or bad for me. So it just has to be aligned with your philosophy, aligned with your belief, aligned with you. Okay, it has to be heart-centered. Again, Mercury goes direct where Regulus, the star, is, and that is the heart of Leo. So we have to come from our fourth chakra, not the second chakra. I don't know if I talked about this in the intro, but the second chakra is about fear and loss and attachment and greed, right? You have to come from unconditional love, your fourth chakra, and that's what they're asking you to do in these situations that are going to come up. Because you're thinking that it's going to be these situations that are coming up, and I don't think you realize you've got some gifts coming. Like you got some, like, oh my God, what the heck just, oh, I was cursed, sorry. Oh my God, what the heck just happened? Like my life just kind of blew up in a good way, right? And And you're like, then all of a sudden, those other problems that you had or thought you had, that's nowhere near these issues that you have to contend with now, right? Like, if you have to, so if you're not clear and centered and aligned, then when you go into this vibration, you have a whole other set of issues that you have to be like, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope. I know this person, I know that person, I know this, I know that, I've already done this, I've done this in my life, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to be able to do that, right? Because some of you, I will tell you, are, if you're not multimillionaires, you're going to be multimillionaires, and I mean that seriously. This is where some of you are working towards. You are going to be that, and I have not said that to anybody yet. I've just said some people. Like, I remember last month I said I felt like there was some lottery win somewhere, but I feel like this is like multi-millionaires, right? So some of you are going to be that, and that's a whole set of other issues. And if you talk to people who actually are multimillionaires and billionaires, I mean, I know not a lot of people get to talk to them. I've had the pleasure of being able to speak with some. They're the best thing they can, like, the one major thing they tell you is, I don't even think about a decision. I just make it. I make it. I make it. I make it. I have, my day is really packed. My day is really, all of that. And I know how to make a decision quick. And a lot of them say, my best decision that I ever make, or I have made so far, the best decisions that I've made so far are the ones I don't think about. I just know. I just do it. That's what they say. And that's what I'm talking about with this. We're going to have to be like, your life is going to change, and you're going to have to be in that energy where you're like, I know myself. I know this. I know that. I know, and this is what this practice is about. This is what this is about, the practicality part of it. And you're feeling like that's not ever going to come, and what's going on, and da, 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 da. But that's because it's all this training for you to be in that. Okay. Now, I know this is a love area, and we're going to get to that, but this is really important for them to say to you, because where you come from is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about this before, but I'm getting this again. You know how after the battlefield, after you've finished a battle, or finished a argument, or finished a project, or all of that, like, it's not done, like the big picture isn't done, or the war isn't done, but when you go back and retreat, you're like looking at the battlefield, and you're looking at, I'll just use that scenario. You're looking at the battlefield, and you're looking at, how can we do this better? How can I, you're sort of tweaking, how you're like you're reinvestigating, you're sort of tweaking, you're like getting your, which way do I do it? How can we do this better? Like, that's where you've been in your life. And that's where you've been in your love. Like, how do I do this better? What do I do? That's where you've been. That's the Five of Swords. That's what you came from. So you came through some resolutions, and now you're here with the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is about working, like, you already have the answers. You already know what you want to do. You just have to, like, do it in a more efficient way. Okay. And trust me, you're going to get some help. You are going to get some help. If you've asked for help, you're going to get some help, because I do see that coming in for some of you. Okay. So that's where you came from. This is where you're at. This is what Spirit's advising. Now, in your fourth position, you have the Four of Cups. So listen, you're looking at, this is where I want to be, but you're not even looking at where you're at. You're just like, I'm kind of done being here, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of done being here, and I want to be here. But in that, you get too, like, emotionally involved in going to that or looking at that. And so what they're asking you is, like, put a little fire in this, put a little oomph in this in the next 2 weeks, in this first 2 weeks of September, in your love area, in your life, in your family, in your persona, in these things that you're working on. Put a little fire in that, instead of being really emotional, which you already are. You've already connected emotionally, because this is a very different card that I'm seeing. I'm seeing this in a very different way than I usually do. But they're saying, get some passion behind it. Get some passion going. You already, don't be, see, this is the thing. I think you're afraid of not really trusting yourself. I think you're afraid to trust yourself, some of you. And so for this reason, you're like holding back. And you're doing what you normally know to do, which is work harder, right? And they're saying, no, there can be a different way. There's an easier way to do this. There's a smarter way to do this. And you have those answers. Trust yourself. That's what I'm getting to. Okay, so get in this position where you have some passion in it. Get in this position where you're like, yes, I know I see that in my future. Or yeah, I know I see that in my future. Now I'm gonna feel it and know it in my bones. Like I just know, right? That's what they're talking about, the passion. With a new loved one, with your lover coming in, with your partner coming in, with your family, with your friends, with your stability, with your finances. Just know that it's yours. If your heart, mind, and soul desire it, and you've already connected to it and said what you wanted emotionally, then just know it's yours. And when you do, you have that passion behind it, nothing's going to stop you. And then that energy gets you to it faster and it comes to you faster. That makes sense? So for others of you, if this is just romance for you, then it looks like you're looking to what's possible with someone new. It looks like you're kind of feeling it out and saying, this is where I want to be, but you're not looking at this, where this is where you're at. And there's nothing wrong with looking at the future with someone, but then you're missing your now, okay? And Geminis are experts at living in the now. So just remember to be in your now. And when you're in your now, you can notice and see how that new partner is really communicating or engaging with you. And you'll have your answers there, okay? So for others of you, it's like, is that partner ever going to come in? I kind of feel it. I kind of see it, but I'm not seeing anything here. So I'm just going to continue to look over here. Does that make sense? Right? I do see some of you with longtime partners. And if you've had a partner for a while, it's like you're trying to get to this place. And when you first started, you thought that's where it was going, but you're not really sure. And that's what you'll be sort of dealing with. And so they're saying, again, put the passion in it, put the oomph in it, and Mars is going to help you, okay? So it's funny because, I mean, I'm doing a little bit of astrology, and I will be doing most astrology on my website. But Mars for women is the guy or the type of man that you're wanting. And Venus is for men, the type of woman that they're wanting, right? So Mars it usually has that energy of where your dating guy will be, you know, where the guy that you're dating will be, okay? So in your fifth position, you have the Two of Cups. This is from your higher self. I always ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? And you have the Two of Cups. So they want to let you know that that bonding is coming. Some of you are thinking it maybe just be romance that I'm talking about, but I feel like there's a business partner or somebody that comes and helps you, or a mentor or something like that. That's the bond too. So it's romance and it's others as well. It's other relationships as well. They want you to know this person that comes in will understand you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like you'll just get each other because you've had, for those of you that believe in past lives, you've had other lessons with them, you've had other lives with them, and you've had life between life with them. So you'll know them, they'll know you. Sometimes you'll be like, I don't know why I know this person, but I do. Like, I just feel like I've always known them, right? And that's true. So your higher self wants you to know in the month of September, you've got some goodies coming in. Some of you may have somebody coming in. Others of you may have business partners coming in. And others of you that are dealing with dating and a longtime partner. So if you're dealing with dating, this person's going to, like, if you're dating like 3 or 2 or whatever, however many you're dating, that person's going to shine through. You're going to know them more than the others, okay? And then if it's a long time person, I do feel like for a couple of you, the person that you're with is going to take it to the next level with you, okay? So hang in there. I know it's been rough. All right, so in your sixth position, this is the latter 2 weeks of September. You have the Page of Coins. So you do have news of money coming. You do have news of possessions or things, or these things that you've been working on. This is going to be news that you are like, oh my God, some of you. I cannot believe that just happened in my world. I can feel that with some of you. They're like, you're like, I can't believe that just really, really happened. But it did. It is. It was already going to happen. You were just like having to get through this stuff and this and then this one. Okay. So, this person or this news that comes to you, it is about your finances. It is about your possessions. It is about, that, because the coins or the pentacles to me is physical, right? Now, for others of you, it's the guy or it's the girl that's coming in. And I don't necessarily see them as a page, although this page is kind of cute. He's got green eyes and stuff. He's got pretty lips. Look at that. So I don't see this person as an actual page. I see this person as you'll know them because they will like want to give you something. Like maybe you're at Starbucks or maybe you're at like, I don't know, getting lunch and you're standing in line somewhere and the guy in front of you or the guy behind you is like, or the girl in front of you, girl behind you is like, let me get that person's, whatever they're ordering, or let me buy her the drink, or let me buy him the drink. Like that, I can that's how you know that person. Okay, they're telling me that's how you'll know that person that's coming in. I'm telling you, some of you are going to be like, what? My world just like changed a lot. So obviously your fear is the Six of Swords. So you're fearing, will that stability ever freaking come? Will I get out of this mess? I've been trying for so long and it just gets setback and setback and setback. And then I come at it a different way and it starts to progress and then setback and setback and setback. And so you're almost there and it is coming. And this is just a fear. Fear is there to remind you what you want and what you don't want. And I will tell you, it's like being in space. If you don't have anything to push off of in space, space is everywhere and nowhere, right? So these things that you're having to go through, because you said you wanted to go through them, because you wanted to experience those things to grow your soul, this is what I see as fear. It's just a place to push off from. It's just to say, all right, I know what I don't want. I know I don't want to be unstable. I know or unstable. Unstable is not a word. Unstable. I know I don't want to be going from one person to the next person, in relationships. I know I do want deeper relationships. Like that's what this is for, to show you that, yes, this is what I don't want. And yes, this is what I do want. And so I always say, focus on what you want. You already know what you don't want. You say that enough in your head. Stop saying that in your head. Come over here and look at what you want. Stay in that vibration. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Now, in your 8th position, this is the Justice card. This is the way a loved one will be viewing you or dealing with you. And some of you, it's the universe. So the Justice card is about, balance. The Justice card is about things getting back to balance. So if you've been working for a long time, if you've been trying for a long time, if you've been doing for a long time, it's your time. It's time for it to balance. Okay. For others of you, this is about some legal matters and legal documents that you're going to have to be dealing with in the month of September. Now, as much as you don't want to look at it, because I can feel some people don't want to look at this, as much as you don't want to look at it, this is what's holding you from this. You've got to get this stuff cleared. Okay. And it's always your choice. You can do it or you can not do it, but it's holding you back. So we have free will here. You'll get another chance at another time for it to come around and you get it done. But right now is the time to get it done so that you can get these things, so that you can get like that stability and that new place and that new whatever that you're trying to get to, that new level of career that you're trying to get to. Okay. So if those things come to you, deal with them. Deal with them in the best way that you can. And trust me, you're going to feel like, I can't do it. I don't know what to do about this. Like, that's why I'm not looking at it, because I'm not going to stay in that vibration. And they're saying, no, you don't have to stay in the vibration, but it's time to give resolution to the vibration. And you will have the answer and you will get some help. You can work smarter, not harder. Make sense? Okay. For others of you, it could be that time. I am seeing this too. For others of you that have been in a long relationship, for others of you that are wondering, is that happening? Yes, it is happening. The Justice can also to me mean that, because it's legal documents, It can mean I'm moving in with the person, we're moving it to the next level, or we're actually going to the justice of the peace and getting married, like even married in Vegas. Like I feel that with some of you. That's not everybody, but I do feel that they wanted me to bring that out because I'm seeing this Two of Cups prominently. Okay, so congratulations, good for you, my Jimmies. All right, so in your ninth position, this is your hopes and dreams, but I call it your outer realm. Your hope and dreams, or your outer realm, this is that energy that's coming to you. You have the Knight of Swords, so this is a beautiful night. This night comes from nowhere. Like, these are offerings that come from nowhere. They're in your outer realm. That's what I'm feeling. Like, you're going to be receiving these things, and depending on what you're doing, you'll open. See, this is the thing. Let me get back to this. When you resolve some of these things, it opens up and lets it flow. Your energy flows so that you can accept these gifts. Okay? So, like I've said before, in our higher selves, in our whole selves, we can have so much unlimited energy run through us because we're bigger, we're huge, right? We're part of the whole. We're part of the whole here too, but it's different because we're a different resonance over there. Or it's not really over there, it's here. But here in this realm, on this earth, in this lifetime, we only have so much energy that can run through us in our physicality. And so for that reason, we have to clear, we have to let go, we have to resolve, we have to get these things done, because you're wanting these other things to come in. But if you're holding on to this energy, even if you're not thinking about it, it's still in your energy field. If you're holding on to it, then you don't have enough room in your physicality to make those dreams come true or make those possessions happen. Okay. So they're trying to get you to a place where you're letting it flow, letting it go through. Okay. That's why there's needs to be resolution for here. And again, it's free will. You can do it or not. It's kind of up to you. But you have these things coming. You have these offerings coming to you. And these are offerings that come from nowhere. This is like, you could be thinking, I'm working over here intently, and from nowhere, left field, somebody comes and just says, hey, I've got this, blah, 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 blah. Let me help you. Let me do this. Right? And you're like, what? Like, how did that just happen? I wasn't even thinking about that. I thought about that a while back. That's kind of what the Knight of Swords is. And that's in your outer realm. So, in your 10th position, really important, my Jimmies, you have the 10 of Coins. This is, for some of you, because I see it in a lot of different ways, we have a lot of Jimmies. I see this is tradition. This is other people's money, like inheritances, lottery wins. Somebody in your family crossed over, or somebody in your family before they crossed over has said, you know what, I'm going to start giving my stuff away, or I'm going to start, like, I've, bequeathed this to such and such, and I'm like, or somebody from your family could be like, you know what, I have to move out of the country. I need somebody to be in my house, or I need to give my house to somebody. Or, I mean, just, this is like what all of this is. This is tradition. This is because we're dealing with your ancestry too. Remember the 4th house, because we're dealing with your ancestry and other people's money. I kind of feel like you may get lump sums of money coming from nowhere. But what I'm talking about with ancestry is this is part of your lineage. This is part of your big soul group lineage. So let me just explain this. I don't know if I explained this to you guys before, but let's just say from your lineage, from your soul group, because it's part of your DNA, it's who you are, it's who you came from, right? Let's just say your ancestry came, 2,000 years or 1,000 years, or like over time they've come, but they came to like do things and not reap the rewards, because that wasn't their path. Their path was just to experience these things. And when they experience these things, they actually put like, energy or reserve in the bank for your lineage, right? But let's just say they came to do these things and didn't get, so they reaped rewards, but they didn't reap financial rewards, okay? Because they wanted to reap other kinds of rewards. Let's just say that, all right? But let's just say that they left that in the bank of reserve, and your purpose here was to receive those things, because your purpose here was to experience what it's like to have those things. Maybe that's your purpose, and that helps the lineage, right? So that's what I'm feeling too. It's like your ancestry money. It's like your ancestry possessions. It's like your ancestry. It's connected to your ancestry. Okay. So I hope that helps. Y'all have love sums of money coming. You have traditions coming. To me, if we're just talking about relationships, romantic relationships, what does that say to you? That tells me you guys know when I look at relationships, or those of you that don't know me, this is what I look at when I look at relationships. I want to see coins and I want to see cups, because I want to see the emotional bonding and I want to see the everyday thing that helps you to have a relationship, a down to earth relationship, a solid, a stable relationship. That, my beautiful ones, is a long-term solid relationship. And with these cups, I can tell you it's somebody that you're bonded to. Okay. So, and with this justice, we're talking about paperwork. So I'm telling you, some of you could just be heading off to Vegas or going to the, what is it, Justice of the Peace, or, wherever you go get married, because there are people from all over the world listen to this, but wherever you go get married, or get together, right? I can see that for some of you coming. I really can. So don't get so much in your head, my Jimmies, about this. Just work smarter, not harder.